Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for Aurum Vale. This is a level 47 optional dungeon unlocked in the Corythus Central Highlands in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. If you're like me, you probably skipped this on your way to 50 and then completely forgot about it. Yeah, oops. But better late than never. My name is Ms. Tech and I'll be your dungeon guide. Aurum Vale is a fairly challenging dungeon. A lot of the trash pools contain multiple mobs, so use of crowd control abilities is valued. Throughout the dungeon, you'll notice yellow puddles. Standing in them does damage over time, so be sure to maneuver around these as much as possible. You'll also notice a number of different geysers throughout the area, and these might punt you right into another set of trash. To be safe, tanks can pull trash back to open areas to avoid most of these annoying mechanics. The first boss you'll encounter is the Locksmith. I'm not sure why he's named that. He's definitely not the first I'd call when I lock myself out of my apartment. The first thing you should notice is the Morbol fruit lying around the room. These are interactable and play an important role in the actual encounter. The Locksmith has an AoE ability that can be avoided by stepping outside the red circle of doom. Throughout the fight, he will gradually debuff everyone in the room with Gold Lung. This is a stackable debuff that will do more and more damage over time the higher its stacks get. As this debuff cannot be dispelled, the way to counter this mechanic lies in the Morbol fruits. At around 2 stacks of Gold Lung, all players should interact and consume the fruit. The fruit will cure you of all status ailments. Any fruit you eat will eventually respawn, so you can continue eating them once you hit 2 stacks of the debuff. Repeat this until the boss is defeated. For anyone looking to acquire the Morbol Seedling minion, it can be found in a chest after the first boss, once you kill this interesting set of trash. Once aggroed, Morbol fruit will begin to germinate. If they finish their cast, they turn into Morbol Seedlings. They don't have very many hit points and can be easily killed before the extra mob spawns. Gold vines are similar to every other Morbol you've encountered in this game. Getting hit by its bad breath will debuff you with a ton of ailments. Obviously, avoid this as much as possible. The third boss is Coin Counter. For anyone that's done the Eyes Have It Faith southwest of Dragonhold, you'll have a leg up on this guy. None of Coin Counter's AoE abilities telegraph, so you really need to watch him and his cast bar to see what's coming up next. One of his main attacks is Glower. Coin Counter will turn to a random player and begin to cast it. The player needs to move out of his line of sight or get hit by this massive attack. Strafing a few steps to the left or the right is the easiest way to avoid this. Tanks and melee need to watch out for his 2 swings. He will do a 100-ton swipe quite often throughout the fight. This is a frontal cone that should be avoided by the tank. The easiest way to do this is to run behind him while he casts it. The rest of the group be sure to never stand in front of him. All ranged and healers need to stand at max range or risk being hit by his mid-range ability. This does some fairly spicy damage but is insanely easy to avoid, so stay as far away as possible. At least until he starts to cast Eye of the Beholder. If you see the emote, the Coin Counter takes a moment to reconsider. All ranged and healers need to stack near him. This is similar to Chimera in Cutter's Cry. Coin Counter will AoE the entire room except a small area around him. Be sure to move in to avoid that excess damage. He will also do a 1,000-ton swing. This is the important one. This attack is a point-blank AoE that will one-hit kill anyone in his range, including tanks. This ability can and should be interrupted. If you are not planning to interrupt this ability, make sure that the melee and tanks know to GTFO before each of these swings. I've also been told that he sometimes will drop enmity and begin to chase a random party member while AoEing in front of him. I didn't actually come across this in my run, so I have no actual footage of it, but don't be surprised if this does happen in your group. So that is a lot of mechanics to remember, but as long as you remember to stack for Eye of the Beholder, avoid the Glower, and don't get hit by the swipe or the swing, you'll be fine. We have another 2 Morbols to kill before we gain access to the last boss, the Miser's Mistress. Once again, you'll notice Morbol fruit lying around the room, and again, we'll use these to cure our debuffs throughout the fight. The stacking debuff doesn't actually do as much damage as Gold Lung did on the first boss, so you can wait to eat the fruit until you have about 3 to 4 stacks of the debuff. Be sure to avoid the bad breath, however, if you do get hit, there are a lot of fruits that you can eat to dispel yourself. Throughout the fight, the Mistress will spawn a number of Morbol fruits in a ring around her. These will begin to germinate and should be AoE down as fast as possible. If any survive your initial barrage, they will spawn Morbol Seedlings. Obviously, this just makes the fight last longer, so focus your damage on the fruit as soon as they come up. Remember to handle your debuff stack and you'll have her down in no time. There you have it, Aurum Vale. Hopefully you got a cute pet out of it, because other than that I don't really see any reason to run this place. There are far easier ways to unlock Amdapor Keep, and the loot that drops here isn't that great. But at least it was interesting. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.